Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to recap a trade I took using the opening range breakout, and it's on ticker symbol INTC, Intel Corporation. So I used the 5-minute opening range breakout. So I wait for this 5-minute candle to form. But since I've been trading this for some time, I actually sometimes trade within the 5 minutes. For instance, in this example, because I am aware of the levels such as the support, although it did not go all the way to this level, I was able to recognize the pattern that happens quite a bit with this stock, with the um, quick sell-off at the open within 5 minutes and a push up. And so I entered at this range, the bottom range, and just targeted the mid range. So I took a quick scalp within the first 5 minutes of this trade between this range, and then I waited for the rest of the candle to develop and then play out. I try not to trade inside of the range, but sometimes I do when I see confluence um, based on support, moving averages. But this time I just waited and it broke down. And so it can either break out, which is the opening range breakout, or the opening range break down. So this was a breakdown trade. As you can see, there was a strong break out of that range past the support, and this purple line is basically a downward um, trend line that I have in the bigger time frame, and it didn't really respect that much based on just how strong the selling was. The first candles you see are just nothing but selling, and so it broke through these supports and had some support here at the previous day's low. So I had a little bounce, but it broke back down past this upward trend line again on the bigger time frame. So usually you want to get a bigger picture of what's going on by looking at the daily before you start going into the lower time frames. That's how I get all these support, resistance levels, and trend lines. But as you can see, finally, when it broke down to 44.63, we got some green candles, and selling pressure was still strong, but it was being held up, and selling pressure died down, and finally selling pressure um, resolved itself in a sense, somewhat, if I use the right word. But anyways, it was declining. RSI started moving up, and so I took a nice trade above the support lines, stopped below this wick, broke right through these um, resistance levels back into the upward channel range, back into the previous day's high, and seeing that there was a wick, then it meant that there was a good buyer stepping in the support level, which is normally very strong, and it held and retest until it moved up and tested this downward channel here and respected that. So you could have gotten some scalps and just take scalp trades here and there. And so that's what I did. And just respecting the trend lines, understanding support and resistance. And so you could just base your trades off of these key levels and capture certain moves in the market. And of course, I did the VWAP. This is the VWAP here. So basically targeting the VWAP, knowing that it's probably going to retest these levels, retest VWAP again. It did break out, but failed to break through this channel, build back under VWAP, retested VWAP prior to the end of the session. So you're incorporating multiple strategies within this trade. So you just don't have the opening range breakout, but you also have the VWAP trade and support and resistance trades all working together. And that's how you have confluence and you see the bigger picture of everything that's going on. Again, even in the bigger timeline, when you have all these levels marked out, it seems confusing, but I'm used to it because obviously this is the system that I've grown accustomed to, and it's something that you yourself have to develop as a trader. You have to develop your own strategy, or just not necessarily develop your own, but you have to make it your own and fine tune it to what works with you. And so, anyways, if you got value from this video, I'd appreciate a like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And until next time, God bless.